Hello and welcome to Give It a Rest, the podcast where we talk about common practices, ideas, and beliefs that need to be put to rest for the greater good. My name is Joy. I am your host. This is episode 12. Welcome back, everybody. I want to say thank you to everyone who has watched, listened, shared with a friend. This is a big fat thank you to you. And so shout out to y'all. Okay, now we can get right on into the episode. If you're new here, stay till the end so that we can do affirmations together. That's my favorite part of the pod. And okay, so today's topic is worrying. Now, I know that worrying is innate. We have to do this. This is how we survived for thousands of years. But y'all, it's time to give it a rest. I actually recorded this episode already, but the video sucked going along with the audio and I did not like it. So I worried enough to not post it. And here we are recording again. So maybe I need to do these affirmations a little bit more myself. Anyway, I like to start with a definition. Our definition for worrying comes from the Oxford Dictionary, causing anxiety about actual or potential problems. Actual or potential. You know, half the things we worry about, I'm going to say 90, not half. 90% of the things that we worry about haven't even happened. They're probably never going to happen, but here we are worrying about them anyway. And it's okay to worry, y'all. Don't beat yourselves up about this thing that we all do. Just be cognizant of it. It's important to recognize when we're doing the thing that is causing us harm. And we can move forward from there. So a few examples about what we like to worry about. We worry about things that aren't happening, or not only are they not happening, but we don't have control over it. So all this worrying about something that we have no input in. Come on, y'all. Let's give it a rest. We like to worry about school, work, family, life goals. Like, oh, I'm behind. I was supposed to reach this goal by the time I was 25 and now I'm 27 and it hasn't happened yet. Okay. You woke up today, yes? So you have another opportunity to get it poppin'. Another one is the future. We have so much anxiety about the future and what it may hold, what it might not hold. I just think that we should bring ourselves back to the present. Bring yourself here right now, today, in this very moment, and recognize what is really going on. Are you okay? Have you progressed? Did you go somewhere today that you were not able to go yesterday? Look at your small little wins and, be proud of yourself. We also like to worry about others and what they think of us. Oh my God. Y'all, we super duper can't control that at all. And there's a quote, I think it goes, I don't know if it's a quote or a saying, but I've heard the people say that somebody else's opinion is none of my business. It's literally none of my business what somebody else thinks of me. And for my girlies who are out in the streets dating, y'all, I know a lot of times we get nervous going on dates and we're like, oh my God, I hope they like me, blah, blah. No, there's no I hope they like me. You need to be worried about if you like them or not. And that is really it. Just bring it back to yourself. Y'all, it's about you. It's about us. However you feel is the way that you're going to come off into the world. I've been reading Law of Attraction books, which are fascinating, but if you think highly of yourself, then you're going to attract other people that also think highly of you. It's the way the law of attraction works. I'm going to put a couple of links in the bio or in the description so that y'all can either listen or read the book yourself. And then also, I was listening to this podcast called For the Healthy Hose. And in the episode, I don't actually remember which episode it is. I will look it up so that I can put it in the description again. But in the podcast, they talk about obsessive worrying, like excessive worrying, being micromanaging the universe. And that is so disrespectful. Think about yourself at work or school and somebody is down your neck, like they're on your neck, worrying about what you're doing and seeing that you're doing every little thing right. And it's like, no, I know how to do my job. Leave me alone. And we're just people. All we control is ourselves. Think about the universe and God. Are you really going to micromanage the person who created every living being, including you? The beautiful sky, the beautiful ocean, weather, every single thing that exists, you're micromanaging that power. That's disrespectful. Give it a rest. Okay, so let's get into our quote for today. We're doing a couple. So one is, temperamentally anxious people can have a hard time staying motivated, period, because their intense focus on their worries distracts them from their goals. So imagine if you put all that time, attention, and energy into your goals instead of worrying about whether you're reaching them or you're doing it right or not. Just focus yourself forward. Whenever I get sidetracked or I start to get nervous, anxious about whatever is going on, first I have to recognize that I'm doing it. And then I'm like, wait, where am I going? Let's move in that direction. It doesn't matter if it takes me a long time to get there. It doesn't matter if I have to go a different way than I was planning. As long as I'm moving forward, I'm good. Another quote that I have here is that, and I forgot to mention who is that from. That was from Winifred Gallagher. So that's the first quote. Second quote, worry is a misuse of the imagination. That's from Dan Zadra. I love that. Y'all, we are so creative. Our minds do all types of fun things. They can imagine, they can dream. But why are we wasting that imagination on worrying about things that could be detrimental to us? How about we make up things in our mind that are beautiful? We imagine ourselves winning. We imagine ourselves succeeding, making great friends, finding love, living the lives that we know that we deserve. Let's do that with our imaginations instead, okay? So what tangible steps are we taking to give worrying a rest? I have written 3 down. I like 3s. So here we go. 1, we're going to acknowledge what is and is not in our control. So let's do an example here. I am worried that my patients are not going to like me at work. So I have control over how I show up, my attitude, the way I speak to my patients, and the level of skill that I bring to, each appointment. I have control over that. And that's really all I can control. I do not have control over how my patients are going to react to me. I don't have control over their mood. I don't have control over whether they have anxiety or not coming to see me. And that's that. Like, I can just put my best self forward and hope that my patients receive that. And if they don't, I don't know what to tell you. It's not, they're not going to be there forever. They still have to go and do other things in their day. So it'll be a short little appointment and then bye. And also, I may not be the provider for them, and that's okay too. Okay, next, and I want y'all to really apply these to your lives and apply them to each scenario in which you find yourself worrying a lot. 2, imagine the best and worst case scenario. We'll do this for school. Let's do a school example. So when I was in school, every single test was like, either I pass this test or I'm never going to become a dentist. And that's not the actual outcome. For each test, it was either I'm going to take this test, pass it, and I never have to think about it again, or I take this test, I don't pass it, and I'm either going to have to retake this test or retake this class. And then I'll pass it and never have to think about it again. So in each of these scenarios, I'm getting to where I want to go, which is where I'm done with the class and I don't have to think about it anymore. It's going to happen one way or another. It just may not happen the way that you want it to initially. 3, prepare for the worst and expect the best. Here we go. So for a test, for school, there were classes that, I failed. I straight up failed the class because I wasn't studying the way I was supposed to, and bad things happened during the test, and that's what happened. So in those instances, it's remediation time. Okay, I've already failed. It's fine. I have another chance. So I am preparing for these like remediation courses, right? And in these remediation courses, you have to pass everything, or they can make you repeat the whole entire year again, or they can kick you out of school. And for me, repeating a year is not, it wasn't really an option, and neither was getting kicked out of school. And for me, that just meant study all the things, ask people how they studied, find people who already passed the courses and get them to help you study too. I've done it all. And so for this instance, I am preparing for the worst. The worst is that I'm going to have to repeat everything. So preparing for the worst in this situation was getting myself in a mind frame of accepting the fact that maybe I do have to retake a year of school. And of course, that's not what I wanted to do. That's actually the last thing I wanted to do. But once I mentally accepted that this is a possibility, then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not doing that. So what do we have to do to make sure that doesn't happen? And so I expected the best out of myself. I expected that all this studying and all this effort and all this time I'm putting in is going to pay off in the end. I'm preparing for the worst, but expecting the best. And I don't know that that was the best scenario, the best example for this tangible step, but it works for me. And I hope that y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, now we're at the end of the podcast. Y'all, this is not a long podcast, and if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I'm going to encourage y'all right now to, if you're on YouTube like this, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and on Spotify, rate and review, please. I want 5 stars. If you're not going to give me 5 stars, then keep your review. Thank you. Okay, affirmation time. The way this works is that I say it, I give y'all time, you say it back to me. I don't care where you are, I don't care who's around. If somebody's around you, have them say it with you. Okay, here we go. 3 affirmations. I am okay in this moment. I am grateful for what is and what isn't. Everything works out for me. Okay, yay, we made it to the end of the episode. I hope y'all said those affirmations. Feel free to run it back, okay? Run it back, say them again with me if they made you feel good and you want to do it again. Anyway, this is the end of the podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening. Please share with a friend, a family member who you feel like could benefit. And until next time, rest up.